The chair sat empty, and in Windsor Castle, an empty chair can roar louder than cannon fire. That image, the king's ceremonial oak seat unclaimed by his eldest son, was the first thing seasoned photographers noticed when they crept into the grand vestibule. It should have been the medals, the trumpets, the triumphant return of a monarch still sparring with cancer. Instead, one missing prince stole the oxygen from every flag-draped archway, and by lunchtime the #WhereIsWilliam beat Wimbledon and Westminster in the trending stakes. Hours earlier, dawn drizzle had slicked the castle's flagstones silver grey, a colour that might have mirrored King Charles III smooth. Word in the servants' corridors was that the monarch had slept badly. His personal secretary spotted light under the private study door at 2 a.m., but by 9 he was upright, stoic, crimson sash precisely aligned, ready to knight Britain's brightest. The investiture list crackled with star power: global songbird Leona Lewis, miscarriage law campaigner Mylene Klass, war zone surgeon Dr. Hamza Kaur, and 95-year-old codebreaker Sybil Cypher-Reid, finally stepping from the shadows. Each name should have dominated front pages. But one question stalked every aisle of St. George's Hall: had Charles secretly opened peace talks with Harry and shut William out? They called it a reset breakfast. Rumour says it happened in the Oak Room at first light: the king, 2 senior courtiers, and a lawyer for the Duke of Sussex connecting by secure transatlantic video. No Harry in person, yet. Just legal voices, awkward silences, and tea that cooled untouched. Somewhere between scones and smoked kippers, someone floated the idea of a summer estate weekend. Father, both sons, no cameras, no aides. A Franciscan silence packed. By the time the silver tray clattered out, the king was reportedly energized, even hopeful. Then his equerry whispered the bombshell: the Prince of Wales would not be attending any family summit while Catherine convalesced. Palace insiders heard glassware clink, a teacup set down rather more forcefully than protocol prefers. And the schedule rolled inexorably toward the public stage. 11 o'clock, the quadrangle gates yawned open, regimental bands struck up Crown Imperial, and the sovereign processed beneath 950 years of vaulted stone. If sickness gnawed his bones, none showed. He carried his mother's legacy on those thin shoulders, every ribbon aligned, every white-gloved gesture precise. When Leona Lewis curtsied, tears pooled but did not spill. Charles murmured, "Your voice has carried hope farther than my red boxes ever could." Camera shutters hissed, newsroom editors punched star power into headlines. Yet every observer's peripheral vision tugged to the dais' right, the vacant chair reserved for the heir. The void crackled with speculation. Some swore William's Range Rover was sighted outside Adelaide Cottage 10 minutes earlier, engine idling, before turning back toward the long walk. Others insisted the heir's staff never booked a security detail. Overeager TikTok sleuths cross-referenced aviation apps: no royal helicopter liftoffs from Kensington. Meanwhile, Catherine's name trended beside phrases like post-chemo fatigue and privacy barrier, as supporters defended the prince's decision to shield his recovering wife from palace crossfire. Inside the castle, Charles soldiered on. Dr. Kaur knelt, the blade touched her shoulders, the nation applauded another quiet hero. But even she later admitted the atmosphere vibrated. Mylene Klass followed, clutching her citation like a lifeline. The king leaned so close their foreheads almost met. "Keep pressing them," he urged. "Parliament moves only when hearts break." Outside, journalists immediately framed the exchange as the monarch backing reform white-hot copy for a lunchtime news cycle, until an anonymous aide leaked that William's absence was noted with disappointment. Cue a media-feeding frenzy. Did the prince boycott on principle? Was he nursing private resentment over father and brother negotiations conducted beyond his view? Or was it strategic optics, keeping the air squeaky clean while the king waded into familial mud? Theories bred faster than roses in the East Terrace border. Meanwhile, Charles's press team raced to upload carousel posts, honorees beaming, medals glittering, sovereign smiling. Captions read, "Steadfast service, unbreakable spirit." Comments, however, fixated on the royal triangle cracking at its base. Mid-ceremony, a hush husked across the hall. Sybil Reid shuffled forward, clutching a parchment of decades-old secrets. As Charles bent to whisper, a boom of laughter rolled from both codebreakers to the last. Yet even that golden moment couldn't drown the low buzz of scandal. For outside, a well-placed source dripped headline fuel. Yes, the Oak Room meeting happened. No, William wasn't consulted. 24 words detonated across timelines. The investiture closed with a fanfare, the last medal pinned, the king's smile frozen just an eighth of an inch too wide. At the reception that followed, Leona nearly shattered a champagne flute when a courtier congratulated her, only to segue into any idea why His Royal Highness stayed away. She demurred. Whispers multiplied. Mylene used the distraction to corner the health secretary about miscarriage policy, a small, hard victory wrung from swirling chaos. Dr. Kaur found herself flanked by defense chiefs trading intel about Afghanistan drawdowns, while Sybil Reid stroked her MBE ribbon and muttered, "Codes are simpler than families, dear." Beyond the portcullis, Windsor's cobbles were already under siege from camera crews. The king's decision to broadcast the ceremony live on Instagram, 30-second reels of knighting spectacle, looked genius at dawn, desperate by dusk. Headlines tilted darker: Charles S. medal high, Windsor's family low, William's no-show clouds king's triumph. Tabloids sharpened claws: is this the moment the crown splits? Broadsheets struck a cautionary tone: tumult is the Windsor constant, service is the glue. Opinion desks feasted on the dichotomy. But the day's most haunting image never hit official channels. A long-lens paparazzo, skulking in Home Park, captured Charles alone at a window, blue drapes framing stooped shoulders, medal sash still gleaming. No aides, no pageantry, just a 76-year-old son staring toward Frogmore Hill, where his younger child once dreamed of orchard picnics. In that single, stolen frame you could read a dynasty's ache, honors bestowed, battles fought, yet the simplest reconciliation remains elusive. By nightfall, Downing Street's new trade pact announcement languished unheard beneath the Twitter roar. Memes flashed, the king knighting a stand-in cardboard cutout of William, Harry FaceTiming atop the castle tower, Catherine photoshopped onto Britannia's prow steering clear of family rocks. Amid laughter, a deeper question pulsed: can Charles heal a divided house without fracturing the throne he waited 7 decades to inherit? Insiders hint the king plans a Balmoral gathering in late August, a tradition-draped house party that could, if courage trumps pride, see both princes under one roof for the first time since the Queen's funeral. A moorland estate, 20 bedrooms, 40 years of ghosts. Will William risk it? Will Harry accept? Will Catherine's doctors allow Highland air and high-stakes tension? Every answer is a chapter unwritten. And you can be certain, whichever path they pick, will be ringside, chronicling each tremor. For now, the medals from Windsor glint on mantelpieces across Britain, each a testimony to quiet service. They shine a little brighter because the monarchy placed them there, and though the family behind the medals bruises and bickers, the act of honoring endures. That duality, splendor and strain, is why we can't stop watching. It's why you're still reading this final line, hungry for the next reveal. So, royal watchers, weigh in. Is William's silence the diplomatic coolness of a future king or the ice of a brother unmoved? Will balm be found in Balmoral's heather, or has the crown's crack widened beyond repair? Light up the comments, stoke the debate. And if you crave each pulse of Windsor suspense, slam that subscribe, ring the bell, and keep the kettle on, because the summer summit may yet deliver the loudest thunderclap of Charles' reign.